Saturday morning and welcome back at 6:31. I'm Maddie Kurth. I want to get you straight over to meteorologist Hannah Gard. She's got a first alert this morning. Some weather on the way.
Yeah, we're tracking storms moving in right now. Those storms could be strong at times. We got to watch mainly for gusty winds and flooding rainfall. So we'll take a look at Viper radar. We do have some flood warnings in place across the North Shore. This is going to be the biggest flood threat. You can see that we have some stronger storms up there. We also have saturated grounds now because we've been seeing rainfall in these areas for quite some time, since yesterday really. We have heavy rainfall that just moved through Tangipahoa. It's starting to push into parts of Washington Parish. We have this flash flood warning in effect until 8:30 for the northern tier of Washington and Tangipahoa Parish. The other thing I'm watching, and I kind of have pointed it out in the last hour, is these notches in the line of storms. The good news is that main area I was watching for potentially some minor rotation has fallen apart a little bit. You can see that little notch that just moved to the northeast of Roseland toward Franklinton. You're still going to see, though, some strong winds embedded in parts of this line. So that's another thing that we have to keep a close eye on as we go throughout the rest of this morning. The line is going to be slowly pushing through. But again, with the saturated grounds, this big swath of purples that you're seeing up there, we've had over 7 inches, over 8 inches of rain in some areas of southern Mississippi. That's because we had those storms that really lined up last night and have just continued sitting over these areas for a prolonged period of time. But you can also see this swath of yellow that's starting to form behind the line. That's where you're getting maybe even up to 3 to maybe 4 inches in some areas quickly, because this line of storms is moving up to the northeast while very slowly moving eastward, which is causing training or going over the same areas multiple times. So we got to watch for that. You're seeing this heavy batch of storms is starting to move toward French Settlement. That's going to push into the river parishes and moving over 55 here shortly. The southern end, not quite as strong. You're still going to see heavy rain there, though, coming through along the edge of that line. The tornado warnings, though, have mainly been north of us, and the reason for that is the energy in the upper levels, I think, has pulled a little bit farther to the north. So that should help us out, but it can't rule out still some little spin-ups down to the south. We are not included in the tornado watch. It's to the north of us. We are included, though, in a flood watch along the northern tier and west of the lake, where we could see some of that flooding rainfall. The whole area in a marginal level 1 out of 5 risk for severe weather. The main threats are going to be frequent lightning and damaging winds along that line, as well as street flooding. And we still have that low end tornado threat as we see this pushing through. Right now, the low pressure system is up to the north. You can see the line there. It's actually breaking apart a little bit on the back end, not the leading edge of the storms, but behind that you've had some lighter rain and storm activity. You can see it dropping off to the south. This is starting to get picked up over to the east. It's been very slow moving because the upper level feature has been slow moving. You can see here on water vapor, this shows us the upper levels. We have this counterclockwise spin. It actually got lifted up to the north, so that main feature that was causing storms is now pulling away, and you're going to see the main upper level low swinging through. So that will push the rain through. We'll see some storms still in that line around 9 o'clock to 10. By noon, I think things are starting to clear out. We should see improvements, and we'll have the winds kicking in behind that front. It's going to be cooling off coming from the north. We still have a lot of cloud cover, so I don't think we'll see really a hard freeze in the mornings, but you'll see a big drop off with the temperatures into the 50s, 54 by Monday, and then you'll see the morning lows getting to light freeze criteria on the North Shore for Monday and Tuesday morning. You could see another cool down there by Friday morning. That's going to be a second weather system. You see that first one coming by. We have a little low that's cut off from the jet stream, bringing us some rain Wednesday before we get that second front. And it looks like the cold pattern is going to stick around into the end of the week and next weekend. We're going to be flipping from more of a spring-like feel to a winter-like feel as we track multiple fronts coming on the horizon. And that means we'll have to watch for the freeze threat. But today, focused mainly on that severe weather threat, Maddie, as we're seeing that line moving into the area. Flooding is going to be the primary threat. That's something to think about if you have to hit the roadways this morning. Make sure you're not driving through flooded roadways, of course, and then have ways to receive those weather alerts, as you could get maybe a severe thunderstorm warning out there primarily. We'll see gusty winds, and then we do have to watch for an isolated tornado risk as well.
And if you're in the city limits of New Orleans, you can park on the neutral ground until noon. So if you're up this early, you may want to move that car if you're in those low-lying areas.
Yeah, I would definitely do that before this line starts to move in, because the motion with it's pretty slow. So that could be 2 to 3 inches in a short amount of time.
All right, that's a lot. Thank you, Hannah.